So let's take a look. We have the Five of Swords. And, you know, fives are usually challenges. And this does look like there may be a little bit of a communication breakdown. You know, Mercury was retrograde for quite a while and just went direct. So things may be bubbling to the surface to rectify during, you know, that retrograde time. It may be some confusions, and there may be some miscommunications that are being cleared up. It does look like it's something from the past that is being brought to you again, and it does look like that you really do not want to integrate into this. You don't want to connect with this. It does look like it is other people's problems. So it may be that someone either in your family or your boss, something is asking you to rectify or to clean up somebody else's messes. And it really feels like you would like to take your leave from this, that you really don't want to fight about it. It's not yours to really rectify. Of course, if it's at work, you know, that's a whole different ballgame if you're getting paid to clean up other people's messes. But it does look like something has revisited you from the past. So it could be a glitch at work, could be something interpersonal, or even family developments. But it does look like someone's trying to engage you or involving you in something that you're really not that keen on jumping in on. What crosses you is the 2. This is the 2 of Cups. So this may be, you know, work is trying to take precedent or take some time away from your family. So you may have to set some boundaries pretty clearly with that. It does look like it's time to nurture a relationship. This may be one with your kids, your parents, or a loved one. It could be an intimate. There are a number of cups here, and the Lover. So it does feel like it is an intimate. So you may be just spending a little bit more time. You know, if it's a new relationship, it's all about that relationship and really getting to know one another. So it does feel like that may be getting in the way of productivity a little bit. So make sure that you divide your time up fairly, adequately. So you can do both. You can have a new lover and still get paid for working, not lose your job. So it does look like that may be a little bit of a challenge, Cancer. And for those of you that are single, this may just be something that you love. This may be a new desire, and that's taking your focus away from maybe some of your responsibilities. What is above you here is the Six of Wands, and Six of Wands herald in new actions, new projects, new things to do. The green is lighting up for me as well. So this feels like this may be a project, something that you've wanted to see grow for a while. It does require a little bit of your attention, but it does look like new things are coming to you, and that action is required behind it. These swords really kind of dictate some movement and really following through. This may be following through on some projects that you kind of let go. Maybe in spring, it's feeling like it's time to pick up the ball again. This may be a new idea. This may be something you're presenting to your boss. This may be an invention, but it does feel like it's something that's been in the back of your mind for a while, that you're bringing it to the forefront. You're trying to manifest this project. So, and it does feel more work related, or it may propel you into a different type of work that you've been kind of dreaming of for a while, Cancer. So, what is in the immediate past? These are Pages of Wands, and pages are really all about communication and messages. And wands usually are about an important message concerning your new situation. So it could be on the love situation, since it's right here, or it may be the new project that you're waiting to hear about something. It can also mean a social situation. So you may have gotten some invitations, but when it is a wand, that requires action. So most likely an invitation or positive acceptance of your project that kind of facilitates some movement towards the future. So, what is in the present time? It is the 8. This is the 8 of Cups, and Cups are our emotions. So it does look like you've been recently triggered, maybe disappointed It's feeling like some disappointment, maybe something that you thought would go one way. It could be a relationship, could be a job, could be a family situation, but it does feel like you've had to walk away from something that you've really earnestly put a lot of heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears into. But it looks like maybe your expectations were a little higher than the reality, and it just wasn't moving in the direction that felt comfortable for you. So it looks like you're having to walk away. This can be a relationship. This can be, family obligations or work related. It's maybe just looking for a new job, but it does look like you've had to accept some changes that were not going in your favor, and you've had to just walk away from it. That it was no longer serving and no longer helping you grow. But it does look like there was some anger involved in this. This red cloak here is really lighting up for me, so it does look like you got really pissed off, and it had to come to that before you were able to walk away from this. The devil is right here. And this is feeling like a temptation. This can be, for those of you who are sober, this can be, somebody offering you a drink. This can be some behavior that you've changed long ago that's rearing its ugly head. This can be a codependent relationship that you're either trying to get out of or gotten out of. But it does look like it is... It's a test. It's only a test. So it does feel like it will be coming fairly soon, and it's okay to set your boundaries. But if you've started a new relationship and everything's hunky-dory, and all of a sudden the little things that are that you haven't noticed before kind of tapping you on the shoulder. So pay attention to any warning signs in a new relationship, codependencies that are coming back into your awareness, or tests for sobriety or behavior that you have changed and are happy with the change. So this is just a test to make sure, the Spirit comes in and goes, oh, are you sure you want to be sober? Are you sure you don't want to clean up your child's messes again? Here's another one. Are you sure you set those boundaries clearly? So it's just a little test, and it does look like you will pass the test as long as you remain diligent and keep your boundaries and your mental health a priority while making some choices. The Lovers is the foundation of this, so it does feel like new and improved type of relationship. It does feel like that your heart is soaring right now. There may be, some issues, but it does feel like you need to communicate some of these issues with your love or the people in your heart space, so you can keep that space clean and unencumbered with issues. But it does feel like some other people's problems are kind of seeping into your awareness. And I know water signs, I'm a water sign too, I understand this. We kind of own people's issues, so we can, it's part of how we love, is by cleaning up somebody else's messes, or being able to see very clearly an issue that needs to be resolved. But when we take other people's problems away, they just create it again. They came back here to learn how to clean up their own messes. So I like to use the analogy of, if you have a flat tire and somebody changes your tire all the time, well, if you keep creating flat tires, I guess you need to learn how to change a tire. But if we keep giving it to someone else, or someone else keeps changing that tire for us, we're going to continue to create that breakdown, so we learn how to change the tire. I know that's simplistic at best, but it's still a good analogy. So whoever is falling around you that needs help, whether it's financial, emotional, mental help, let them pick themselves up. You can encourage them, you can love them through it, but do not clean up their messes, because that will just facilitate more messes created on their part. So what is happening next? It is the This is the Seven of Pentacles. This is really, it looks like you may be improving your job, maybe writing a resume, really looking at what your next step is. For many of you, you may be thinking of moving. It doesn't feel like it's that far. It may be like across town, but it does feel like you're looking at changing some things and helping yourself grow a little bit. It does feel like you have some choices, so you don't have to jump at the first choice. But this is kind of making decisions on your next move and your next step. You do have some choices, but it does feel like moving may be in the equation this month of August as well, or at least looking at it. But it does look like you're healing your soul by making some changes, releasing, you may be cleaning out your closet, you may be releasing some friendships, releasing behaviors that no longer work for you. So as you are cleaning out your spiritual closet, now it's time to pick up new things to fill in the gaps. And this is kind of a continuation of this. This is a 3 of Pentacles. It does feel like you may be taking some classes. This may be spiritual classes, could be art classes, any kind of classes, but collecting information. So for those of you who aren't interested in classes, you may just be plucking information off of the web to further yourself. But it does look like interpersonal communications, how to juggle certain things in your life, how to release activities and behaviors that no longer work for you. It does look like you've been doing that most of the year, Cancer. It also feels like some physical things that you've been working on, whether it's health, mental, or physical. You've gotten some answers on that as well, and you may be doing some research on improvements of your health and well-being as well. The culmination card here is the 4. This is kind of the contemplation card, sitting and thinking, looking at the choices. You may be given a choice. It also feels like someone may have given you kind of an ultimatum, like it's this way or that way. And it does feel like both of those choices are theirs, that there is another choice that is healthier for you, that it may work for the situation. But, don't buy into those do or die kind of situations. If someone has given you an ultimatum, usually it's their agenda. So take a look at that honestly before you make any sweeping decisions. This may have something to do with moving as well. But it does look like there is another choice that is much healthier for you than what's being put down here, Cancer. The Ace of Cups is on one side. That Hangman is on the other. I do these for clarity of this situation. It does look like you were kind of pulled in different directions a bit, that your heart is saying one thing, your head is saying another. So always follow your heart, but listen to your head. Spirit will guide you in the direction that you need to go for your highest growth. It does look like some of your choices that you've been making in the month of June and July have bettered other people and maybe not so much yourself. So it's time to put you into that equation. But the Ace of Cups is here, so love is flourishing. As I said, for those single Cancers out there, it can be love for yourself or just love of life. But it does feel like Spirit has brought you new love in your life, and however that looks for you, Cancer, it does make it a little more difficult to make some of these choices. But the Hangman is right here too, so it does feel like your perspective has turned a little bit. The whole apple cart has been upset in a positive way over the last couple of months, so it's time to take a look at things from that new perspective. It does feel like you have done a lot of emotional growth, and a lot of the anger that you've had from the past has kind of dissipated or kind of diluted as you're finding more and more joy and happiness in your heart. So Cancer, that is your general reading for the month of August. I have some new gypsy cards here that I got. Oh, one came flying out, and it says scholar. So it does look like take the time to really investigate before you take that next step. Look at all scenarios and all situations. that not only betters your partner, your family, but yourself as well. It's time to put you as a priority. It looks like that has been part of the shift for you, sweet Cancer, is that making yourself a priority, not always giving to others first. So the other one for clarity is the Lord. Yes, making yourself number one. So we have Scholar and Lord here. So that kind of verifies everything else that's happening here, that it's time to collect the information before you make any sweeping changes, whether it's moving in with someone, whether it's moving out from someone, and to make yourself first. I know it's a rarity, Cancer, but it's time to make yourself first.